Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I'll bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
All right, post-game wrap time, the first half, although, of course, we're beyond the halfway point of the season. But the All-Star break is here. And, look, I think we all went to spring training and watched the Giants play in the Cactus League, and we all thought, man, Giants have a lot of good players. They have depth. This is a different feeling team. This has a chance to be a nice year for the Giants. But even with that, I'm not sure that I thought that we'd be sitting here at the All-Star break, 57 wins, best record in big league baseball. The Diamondbacks are beating the Dodgers, maybe a 3-game lead in the tough National League West at the All-Star break. Even my optimism, I'm not sure I totally saw this coming.
Well, I wish I could tell you I did too. I thought they would be a team that would be around 500 with the idea that if they get to 500 at the All-Star or at the trade deadline, they might be able to pick up a couple of bodies that would enhance their ability to make a wild card maybe. But now that we've seen them this first half and we've seen how they've done it, it's completely different than 2016. And people would ask me in 2016 when the Giants had a great first half, how are they doing it? And I could look them in the eye and say, I have no idea. They got every break that they possibly could get, and in baseball, sooner or later, those breaks they're gonna run the other way. And when the season turned against them in the second half, they couldn't overcome it. This team feels so completely different than that team because of how they have been winning. The attitude in the clubhouse with the way that they go about their daily business prior to the game. They're not surprised at any success that they have. They don't rely on a good break. In fact, what they do is they rely on a mistake from an opponent, and what they count on is taking advantage of that mistake. That's a big difference than trying to rely on a good bounce or a wide strike that gives you an out in a critical point in a game. And I think that it's almost been workman mentality going into every game. And they don't get too high about a win, they don't get too low about a loss. They just grind. And it's just refreshing to see this team rewarded for this hard work. You have to give applause to Gabe Kapler, who's been the best manager, not just in this league, but in baseball. And you have to applaud the job that this coaching staff has done. They have made a remarkable difference instilling a day-to-day confidence that this team takes into a game. And it's really an exciting thing to see. It's a brand of Giants baseball we've never seen.
Yeah, and I'm glad you put it that way. You put it well because we're starting to get asked by everybody now around baseball about how are they doing it and what's going on out there and what a huge shock and surprise and everything. And there's lots of answers to that question, but I think the number one thing that you're pointing out is this has not been a fluke. The Giants have earned this. They have just about the best run differential. They have great starting pitching. Their bullpens come together, and now it's an excellent bullpen, and they've gone through a bunch of different sort of configurations to get to that place. They mix and match. They have the depth to overcome all these injuries to some of their most important players. This is not a fluke. It's just a really good baseball team.
Yeah, and they're doing it with some of their key players, veteran players, who've been doing well. Buster Posey at the top of the list, and also a guy like Brandon Belt and Evan Longoria, and they haven't missed a beat. They've stayed just as hot. So there have even been times where you think, well, maybe the lack of some of those key guys is coming back to get them right now, and then they turn right back around and they go off on another streak. So the depth has really been huge, and Wilmer Flores and Gabe Kapler took the blame. He said last year when he saw Wilmer when he played at third just looked terrible. He says that's on me because I thought we needed him more at second base and whatnot and first base, so we gave him more reps over there during the spring training 2.0. So this spring, Wilmer got a lot of looks at third base, and Wilmer maybe he wouldn't win a Gold Glove, but I mean, he had a couple of really strong games defensively here, making barehanded pickups, showing a strong arm, and showing good hands at third base as well. So, so that's just been really cool to see the depth of this club, and somebody like Wilmer Flores, who's, it's always been said he's here because of his bat, and Wilmer, there's a little more to his game than maybe people realize.
Very good point. Very good point. He's been a huge part of this success.
Yeah, and you bring him up just sort of as an emblem for all the good things that are going on with the Giants, with the depth that this team has. I mean, it's really, really been a remarkable story. And there's a lot more of the story still to come. So we'll take our break here, and when we come back, we will pick our players of the game right after this. All right, post-game wrap part 2. And, Mike, maybe you get to go first on the final day of the first half.
Okay, well, I mean, you may take a couple laps today. You never know. A lot of people to single out, but I'm going to go with Kurt Casale. I think what Casale has done has been remarkable. I mean, I love the toughness of Casale, who left camp and really probably shouldn't have been active because he wasn't healthy. His hands weren't healthy, and yet he found a way to make contribution with the glove, with his catching ability, with the way that he managed the game. And I mean, he won the hearts of this Giants pitching staff. And I mean, 5 consecutive shutouts at one point early in the season. I mean, just remarkable. I mean, that's how you gain a confidence from a staff. And he wasn't hitting. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, he was hitting 100. And now I think he wound up getting as high as 222. I don't know what this last tally was today, but I mean, he's turned his season around with a lot of hits, and not just hits, big hits. And today he had the big 3-run blast, another outstanding job behind the plate. I thought Casale was exceptional, and I'm going to take him. He's my guy.
Good one.
Yeah, great pick. It's a cool story how he's turned things around.
It really is. He's a pro.
John, you want to go next?
Okay, Dave. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to go with Dominic Leone because and you know, there are a lot of different guys who contributed. It's a 3-1 game, but all of the runs driven in by one guy. But there were a lot of different people had big contributions to this one, but none more than Dominic Leone, in my opinion. After the fact, I mean, obviously Gausman did great, got the win, but he came in with the bases loaded and nobody out, and there were the Nats with their chance to get back into this game, and he right away got a double play ball, and then they didn't get the double play. The ball just fell out of the glove. It was kind of a low throw to first, but it didn't hit the dirt. And Lamont Wade Jr. stretching out for it, and it just fell out of the glove. It's one of those plays you're like, oh. And so a run would have scored anyway. But instead of 2 down and 1 run in with 1 man on, it's only 1 out and still 2 men on base. So he just shrugged it off. And he got Zimmerman, the veteran slugger, came up as a pinch hitter on a pop fly. Nobody scored on that pop fly. And then he struck out Robles. And just a great work by Dominic Leone. And he's been a discovery. He was part of the deep depth on this team that started the year in the minor leagues. And what a great addition he has been to this bullpen for the late innings.
Good pick.
Those 2 appearances in this series, you can't do better than he did. I mean, that's really just great stuff.
I mean, it's a big deal to get 3 outs with the bases loaded and only allow 1. He got 4.
Yeah.
Good pick.
So good job, Dominic Leone. Good pick, John. Okay, well, I mean, then I'll go with the All-Star Kevin Gausman. I could have picked the other All-Star Brandon Crawford who played today, but Kevin was just terrific. And, command kind of wobbled there at the very end. Leone bailed him out. But 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 of them were infield hits. I mean, they hardly hit the ball against him the first 6 innings with 9 more strikeouts. And Kevin Gausman got his huge ovation interrupted by Marvin Hudson as he walked off the field. That kind of ticked me off, so that was the tiebreaker for me. I'm picking Kevin Gausman.
All right.
Yeah, he's been so good, so good. And do we have a kite pick?
Sure, he can take Crawford. How about Crawford?
Crawford, absolutely.
3 more hits going to the All-Star game. He'll get to play. Gausman gets to go and be around his friends and family in his hometown, but he won't pitch. He'll just be there.
Well, I think that'll be enough. It'll be a homecoming of what that entire family will remember. But, you know, I do think we do need to single out 3 other guys, Farhan Zaidi, Scott Harris, and Gabe Kapler. I mean, what they've done with this club to put them together and overcome all the injury and the adversity and do it in a way that leads you to believe that they have a great chance this year and a great chance as they go forward. It's a very powerful thing what they've done. You know, not only rebuilding the team on the field, but rebuilding the minor leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, point to guys who had big contributions to this game, like Leon and Lamont Wade Jr., Kurt Casale, and it all goes back, and you still look right back at Farhan Zaidi and Scott Harris, and the job that Gabe Kapler's done to integrate them all in and put together a very strong bullpen, which is right now lights out good.
And good luck to them all. I'm glad you pointed that out. Good luck to them all. They're down at the Giants Draft War Room in Scottsdale right now with all the scouts, and Michael Holmes, the scouting director. The Giants' first-round pick comes up in maybe an hour. You can watch it on ESPN or MLB Network and see who the Giants pick, 14th overall. They're all grinding it out right now. They're not enjoying this Giants sweep. They're getting ready for their first-round pick. So
it's a great day in baseball.
Yeah,
the
pretty
draft,
cool.
A great tradition.
A lot going on. What's on deck? Sponsored by your California Ford dealers. Well, the Giants will head into the All-Star break with the best record in the big leagues and then be back at it on Friday. That's our next Giants game. Friday, Giants in St. Louis to play those Cardinals who played the Giants so tough this week, and then on to L.A. The first week after the break is no picnic for the Giants.
I mean, you're right. I mean, think about their first 5 series. They get St. Louis, the Dodgers, Pirates, Dodgers, Houston. Go get them.
Yeah, if you measure it by win percentage, the Giants' schedule in the second half is like the second or third toughest in all of baseball. So it's not an easy schedule, but that hasn't fazed the Giants thus far, I don't think.
No, they take it one day at a time, and that's the best way to do it.
So anyway,
looking forward to it.
Enjoy the
break.
break.
What does Kipe always say? Bring 'em on.
Bring 'em on. That'd be smooth.
What's on deck? Sponsored by the Ford F-150 Lightning and your California Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com to see deals on trucks and SUVs right now. We're not quite finished yet. John has highlights right after this.
Hi, I'm Jade from Mommy's Tell All. It's hard being a mom. You have a lot on your mind and you're juggling everything, but you must always be mindful of your children's safety. Leaving a child alone in a vehicle can lead to tragedy. These deaths are always preventable. Create a way to remind yourself that your child is in the back seat before walking away, like placing a stuffed animal in the front passenger seat. Look before you lock. Paid for by NHTSA.
If baby could talk, she'd say a lot. You'd know what she's thinking and what makes her happy. But unfortunately, baby can't talk or remind you you're the one taking her to daycare today. And she won't speak up if you drive straight to work like any other day and never think to look in the backseat. Every year, dozens of kids die from heat stroke in cars. No one is perfect, so set a reminder. And always look before you lock. Where's baby? Paid for by NHTSA.